Okay, let's unpack this. When you think of Kansas, what first springs to mind for you? Probably those iconic, vast, flat plains, right?
Yeah, definitely. Fields of golden wheat stretching as far as the eye can see, maybe a bright yellow sunflower or two.
Exactly. The Sunflower State sounds pretty idyllic almost. Sleepy.
It absolutely evokes a sense of quiet Americana. That's certainly the common perception, isn't it? Very wholesome, very serene.
Right. So, what if I told you that beneath that placid surface, Kansas actually holds a surprisingly rich and, at times, deeply unsettling history?
Oh,
Because after doing our deep dive into these sources, I was genuinely surprised by how steep the state is in ghost stories and unexplained phenomena. It really gave me the chills, honestly.
you're not wrong. It's truly fascinating how many restless spirits and, spine-chilling encounters are reported across those seemingly quiet farm fields and charming small towns.
It completely shifts your perspective on the state.
It really does.
And that's our mission today. We're taking a deep dive into the most haunted places in the Sunflower State. We've pulled together insights from a variety of articles and research, lots of different lists detailing specific locations, plus personal accounts from visitors, locals.
Right, getting a mix of sources.
Yeah. Our goal is to extract the most intriguing nuggets of knowledge about these eerie spots, their dark histories, and the ghostly encounters reported, offering you a shortcut to being incredibly well informed about Kansas's surprising supernatural landscape.
And it's important to acknowledge that Kansas isn't usually the first state that jumps to mind for ghost stories. You think Salem, maybe New Orleans.
Definitely not Kansas, usually.
But as you found, it surprisingly boasts a significant share of genuinely haunted history. What's particularly striking to me is how often these stories are woven directly into the fabric of the state's very real past, reflecting the tragedies and unique historical events that shaped these communities.
It really does. From grand hotels and historic homes to abandoned tunnels and even cemeteries, this state is just packed with places where the veil between worlds feels a little
Thin,
thin.
yeah. That's a good way to put it.
And by thin, I mean where the division between our reality and whatever is beyond seems to blur, allowing for, well, maybe more frequent spiritual interactions.
That makes sense. So where do we start?
All right, let's jump right in with a town that has fully embraced its eerie reputation, Atchison.
Atchison, located in northeastern Kansas, yeah. It's indeed a charming river town, known for its historical architecture and as the birthplace of Amelia Earhart. Big claim to fame there.
Huge.
But it's also proudly billed as the most haunted town in Kansas, a claim that definitely attracts paranormal enthusiasts from all over.
And at the top of Atchison's haunted hierarchy is definitely the Sally House. This place is truly infamous.
Well, yeah, the Sally House story is intense.
It really is. The story centers around a 6-year-old girl named Sally. Back in the early 1900s, her mother rushed her to a doctor's house in town because Sally was suffering from, intense abdominal pain.
The doctor quickly diagnosed appendicitis, and with no time to get her to a hospital, he began the procedure right there on the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Which is just, wow.
Right, but tragically, the anesthesia hadn't fully taken effect. Sally reportedly screamed from unimaginable pain until she passed away right there on the operating table.
A truly heartbreaking end for such a young life. Awful.
And ever since, her spirit is said to haunt the house. Things really ramped up in 1993 when a new couple moved in. They reported classic poltergeist activity, ghostly apparitions, unexplained noises, objects moving on their own.
Yeah, and didn't their dog react too? I remember reading that.
Yeah. Even their dog would bark at empty spaces, which is, a common indicator of a presence.
What's particularly chilling, though, is that Sally's ghost wasn't always benign, like not just moving things around.
No, not at all. The house experienced frequent fires of unknown origin, and young males specifically seemed to be targeted, often receiving deep scratch marks on their chests and abdomens.
Which often leads paranormal theorists to consider whether her spirit, in its trauma, is projecting that final pain onto a specific type of presence, almost reliving or reacting to the doctor who caused her suffering.
That makes a disturbing kind of sense.
It's a fascinating, if unsettling, example of an intelligent haunting rooted in a specific historical event, not just residual energy.
Some accounts even suggest multiple spirits haunt the Sally house, including an old woman who fell to her death on the basement stairs, and maybe a teenage boy, too.
Right. It gets layered.
So if you're brave enough, visitors can actually explore the house for a $20 fee, though you need reservations.
And you can even stay overnight, right, if you bring your own sleeping bags.
Yeah, BYOSB. Many visitors describe an unpleasant vibe within the house, and the basement is apparently where the really scary things supposedly happen.
You even need a tour guide to go down there, and visitors reportedly sign a waiver.
Which tells you something right there.
It really does. And interestingly, some have even claimed to speak to dead relatives during their visit, suggesting the house acts as a kind of, maybe, conduit.
Wow. Okay, so from one unsettling house to another, still in Atchison, we have the 1889 McIntyre Villa.
Ah, the villa. This is an elegant, beautiful home. It's on the National Register of Historic Places, originally built by an Irish immigrant, John McIntyre.
Looks impressive.
It is. The main legend here centers on John's former owner. Wait, no, not his owner, his wife, Nellie McIntyre. Her ghost supposedly lingers after her death. Reports include the usual cold spots, flickering lights, and that classic feeling of being watched.
Okay, standard spooky house stuff. But what's really fascinating, though, is the claim that 9 of John McIntyre's family members actually died in the house.
9. Wow, that's a lot for one place.
Exactly. This high concentration of significant life and death events within one location is often theorized to create a strong residual energy or spiritual density, a kind of energetic imprint on the environment.
Yeah, you hear that theory a lot with places that saw intense emotions or events. So what do visitors report?
Well, they've reported hearing spirits talking, seeing dark figures with glowing eyes, and hearing disembodied footsteps wandering around at night.
Creepy.
And some even believe it was used for funeral viewings in the past, potentially adding to that energetic buildup.
It's definitely a magnet for the paranormal, which is why the McIntyre Villa is open to ghost hunters and paranormal investigators. They even offer overnight stays for up to 10 people. Costs about $400 per night.
You have to bring your own bedding, and get this, you can sleep on the beds, but not in them.
That's specific.
What's the difference?
Are the original linens still there or something?
Yeah, I have no idea. I think I'd still opt for a sleeping bag on the floor, just in case. But it's fascinating. One source mentions an immediate heavy presence in the attic, and the owners apparently won't even go into the basement.
See, when even the owners draw a line.
Exactly. That tells you something, doesn't it?
Definitely. Okay, so still in Atchison.
Yep. Then there's Molly's Hollow at Jackson Park. This place is steeped in urban legend and tragedy.
Molly's Hollow.
Yep.
Right. There are 2 main versions of Molly's story, aren't there?
Yeah. In one, a young African-American girl named Molly was brutally lynched for dating a white boy. Horrible.
Just awful. And the other version?
The other says Molly hung herself after an argument with her boyfriend. Either way, it's tragic.
And reports persist of ghostly sightings of Molly hanging from a tree, right? Even after the tree itself was gone.
Exactly. Even after that specific tree was gone in the 1980s when the hollow was filled in, it speaks to the deep emotional impact of the legend, to have such vivid after images of a past trauma.
Visitors also report hearing her anguished screams. The entire area is said to be suffused with sadness and fear, a palpable sense of the tragic events that might have transpired there.
It's that kind of lasting emotional imprint on a location, sometimes called a place memory, where strong events seem to replay or are felt by sensitive individuals.
Makes sense. Atchison sounds packed.
And there's even more. There's the Santa Fe Depot, which now houses the Chamber of Commerce Visitor Center, and even a whiskey depot, apparently.
A haunted whiskey depot. Okay, sign me up.
Right. The Eva C. Cray Historical Home is another one, supposedly built on the city's first cemetery, which is always a good start for a haunting.
Oh yeah, building on grave sites is classic. And don't forget, the private Wagoner home, known as the Gargoyle House.
The Gargoyle House,
Yeah.
where an owner is said to have fallen to his death trying to remove the very gargoyles that give the house its name.
It almost sounds like a curse, doesn't it? Like the house protects its features.
It really does. And if you want a guided experience, Atchison offers haunted trolley tours during September and October for just $10 a person. Takes you to all these chilling spots.
Sounds like a full day of paranormal exploration. The whole town leans into it.
It's almost like the town itself has become a living, breathing museum of its own spectral past.
Okay, so from the concentrated hauntings of Atchison, where are we heading next?
Our journey takes a slightly different turn now, heading south to Leavenworth, another historic river town, famously known as a haunted military town.
Leavenworth. Home to Fort Leavenworth, one of the oldest active military installations west of the Mississippi River. And yeah, it's also billed as one of the most haunted military forts. Big reputation there.
Even some of the newer establishments seem to have inherited a haunted past. The Leavenworth local hotel, for example.
Right? That used to be a Catholic high school, didn't it? Immaculata High, built back in 1923. Now it's a boutique hotel.
Exactly. And hotel staff there have reported seeing a little girl ghost and the spirit of a former nun lingering in its halls.
Hmm. Seems the echoes of its past as a school with children and caregivers haven't quite faded. That sounds like an intelligent haunting, suggesting the spirits are aware of their surroundings.
Yeah, interacting, maybe. But the real concentration of spirits is probably at the Fort Leavenworth National Cemetery.
That makes sense. It's been in use since 1844, officially consecrated in 1862. Houses the remains of some 20,000 U.S. soldiers. That's a lot of history and potential energy.
But what's truly intriguing is that despite housing so many servicemen, the most commonly spotted apparitions are apparently not soldiers.
Oh, who are then?
Well, one is Catherine Sutter. She was an early pioneer woman who lost her children in a winter storm and tragically died of pneumonia while searching for them.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Her ghost now wanders the cemetery in a calico dress and black shawl, holding a lantern and endlessly calling for her lost children. It's a classic example of a residual haunting, where a traumatic event just plays out repeatedly.
Wow. And you said there was another common one?
Yes, the spirit of Chief Joseph of the Nez Perce. He was incarcerated at Fort Leavenworth back in 1877. It's believed he haunts the cemetery in an act of revenge, maybe, for his captivity.
Two very different, very powerful stories attached to that place.
Right. If you want to visit, you'll need to go through security for a pass to enter the operational military base. And in October, the Frontier Army Museum offers a 2-hour haunted Fort Leavenworth tour for ages 10 and up.
It makes you wonder how many untold stories of suffering exist in places like that, beyond the official records.
Definitely. Okay, next up, Ellenwood.
Ellenwood, central Kansas.
Yeah.
Founded by German immigrants, right? And known for something really unique.
Those underground tunnels.
Tunnels, yes, that sounds straight out of a horror movie, creating a naturally eerie atmosphere. And one of the main paranormal hubs there is the historic Wolf Hotel.
The Wolf Hotel, yeah. Built in 1894. High-end place for railroad travelers back then. Now it's run more like an Airbnb, I think. Sort of, yeah. It's become a hotspot for paranormal activity. Guests often read about ghostly encounters in the guest books. Apparently, there's one noted spirit named Bernard Millet.
Bernard Millet, right. Supposedly died in the Sunflower Dining Room in 1927. The hotel even offers themed ghost tours now, really leaning into its haunted reputation.
And those tunnels you mentioned are a definite highlight. The haunted underground tunnel tours are described as a captivating blend of history, architecture, and, of course, paranormal activity.
Sounds fascinating. You can journey back in time, see historic artifacts, learn about life in the late 1800s in this hidden world beneath the streets.
There's just something inherently unsettling about an entire town existing underground, you know?
Totally. Historically, these tunnels were used for transportation, storage, and even to hide, let's say, unsavory places like brothels and saloons, keeping things out of sight.
Right, and the Ellenwood tunnels are unique because they are the only remaining network of their kind in Kansas. Most others got filled in.
Yeah, exactly. The fact they've been preserved makes them a rare window into a specific, often shadowy part of history. It's pretty cool they're still accessible.
You can even find a scandal at the Bank of Ellenwood escape room down there.
An escape room in haunted tunnels. That's niche.
And a speakeasy called The Underground, open on weekends. It's a truly unique way to experience history and the paranormal, blending education with genuine chills.
Definitely adds another layer to the experience. Okay, where to next?
Our journey now takes us to Wilson, tiny town, population like 859, known as the Czech capital of Kansas.
The Czech capital, right. And home to the Midland Railroad Hotel.
That's the one. Charming historic hotel, originally built in 1899, beautifully renovated, but it definitely has a ghostly reputation.
It seems old hotels are almost universally prone to hauntings, doesn't it? Maybe it's the constant transient energy, all those lives passing through.
Could be. At the Midland, sightings of a little girl on the 3rd floor are reported almost daily.
Daily? Wow. What does she do?
She's seen running down hallways, knocking on doors, and leaving small footprints on beds as if she'd been jumping. It's quite specific.
And one source claims not a single hotel employee who hasn't seen or felt something. That's a pretty powerful testimonial from the staff.
It really is. There's even an urban legend that Sheriff Bart was hanged in a 3rd floor room. Though that sounds more like legend than confirmed history.
Sure. And the spooky stuff isn't just confined to the guest areas, right? Something about the kitchen.
Yeah. Strange events occur in the kitchen. like a spray bottle apparently flying 7 feet through the air all on its own.
Okay, that's just weird. Maybe the little girl ghost needed to clean something.
Huh, maybe. Or maybe the spirits just have strong opinions about cleaning supplies. Or just showing their presence in unexpected ways.
So many specific locations. Should we maybe do a quicker run-through of some other notable spots across the state? There are quite a few.
Good idea. As we broaden our scope across Kansas, several other notable haunted locales stand out, each with its own chilling narrative. Instead of diving super deep into each, let's consider them as fascinating snapshots, hinting at the diverse types of spectral encounters reported across the state.
Sounds good. Like hitting the highlights.
Yeah.
Where first?
Let's start with one that flips a common trope, the Eldridge Hotel in Lawrence. This place doesn't have a haunted 13th floor. Here, it's the 5th floor, especially room 506, that's considered a portal to the spirit realm.
The 5th floor, huh? Interesting. So what happens there?
Guests report breath marks appearing on clean mirrors, lights turning on and off, ghostly apparitions, including a man who reportedly died in an 1800s fire. There are also strange noises and an eerie presence felt particularly in the basement.
And isn't Colonel Eldridge's ghost supposed to be a prankster?
Yeah. Crinkling water bottles, turning on the AC, or moving bags. The hotel was even featured on A&E's My Ghost Story, which really put it on the map for paranormal enthusiasts.
Okay, from a haunted hotel to a truly infamous cemetery. Stoll Cemetery in the tiny town of Stoll.
Oh boy, Stoll. This small, isolated cemetery with a crumbling old church is considered one of the most haunted in the country. Some even call it a portal to hell.
Yeah, that's a pretty bold claim. What are the legends?
Well, they're rife here. Some speak of devil-worshipping cults gathering, a twisted pine tree once used for hanging witches, now cut down after a lightning strike, and a chilling stretch of road known as Devil's Road, where dark incidents have occurred. Like one story about a man accidentally setting his son on fire. Just awful stuff.
Yikes. Dark folklore indeed. And the steps.
Ah, yes. The most famous legend involves hidden stone steps to hell that are said to open only on Halloween and the spring equinox.
Okay, that's peak spooky legend right there.
And if that's not enough, the devil himself is rumored to appear at midnight on Halloween to visit the grave of a witch who supposedly bore him a child, sometimes manifesting as a wolf.
Wow. It's certainly a place steeped in dark folklore. Whether you believe it's literally true or not, the stories are powerful.
Definitely. Visitors report ghostly apparitions, unexplained noises, and profound feelings of dread. Locals firmly believe the land is cursed, and its isolation certainly contributes to that oppressive atmosphere.
Moving on from literal hell portals,
Mhm.
what about the Topeka State Hospital?
Right. This former psychiatric hospital, dating back to 1879, was known for experimental treatments and has been closed for many years. But despite its closure, the rumors of hauntings persist.
Not surprising for a place like that. Former patients, staff, visitors have reported strange occurrences. Ghostly sightings, whispering voices, objects moving, doors opening and closing on their own.
The residual energy from its complex and often tragic history seems to linger, a common theory in places of past suffering, right?
Absolutely. Okay, how about something a bit different? Safari Mark's Bar and Bistro in Sedan.
Yeah, originally the historic Bradford Hotel from 1904, this place is apparently haunted by Andrew Eaton, known as Indian Slim. He was a gambler and horse rider who died in the 1970s.
Indian Slim, and his ghost has a personality.
Seems so. His apparition is seen, and his ghost is said to have a temper, causing paintings to fall off walls on multiple occasions.
An intelligent haunting with an attitude. Okay, gotta mention the Brown Mansion in Coffeyville, too.
Oh yeah, the Brown Mansion. A truly imposing structure built in the early 1900s by a wealthy businessman, James Brown. This one sounds like a full family affair when it comes to haunting.
It really is. It's said to be haunted by the entire Brown family. James, the original owner, is seen smoking his pipe in the living room or library, or sometimes you just catch the distinct smell of his pipe smoke.
Creepy.
His wife, Nancy, is heard crying outside their son Donald's room. Donald died young, age 11, from diabetes in that third-floor room, which his mother then sealed off. He's said to still play there.
Oh, that's sad.
And their daughter, Violet, the only child to live to adulthood, is seen dancing alone on the third floor. Even their servant, Charlie, is seen sometimes in his basement bedroom or greeting guests at the front door.
Wow, the whole household. Beyond the apparitions, visitors report eerie noises, doors opening and closing, a general sense of unease, and even being touched by an unseen hand.
It's a very active family haunting. Suggests a deep attachment to the property even in death.
Okay, quickly now, Hotel Josephine in Holton.
Right, grand building from 1889, named after builder A.D. Walker's daughter, Josephine. Her graduation photo still hangs in the parlor.
And Josephine's spirit is said to wander the halls.
Yep. Reports of ghostly apparitions tapping on windows, footsteps from invisible feet. This hotel even got a visit from the Ghost Adventurers crew.
Ah, that always boosts the legend. What about the Rivendell bookstore in Abilene?
Interesting one. The owners report strange occurrences, shadowy figures, jingle bells chiming at Christmas when the store is closed, books scattered from shelves by unseen figures.
And didn't a specific book fall off the shelf?
Yes. In a rather on-the-nose moment, the book Living with Ghosts notably fell off shelves on its own, almost like the spirits themselves were making a point, or maybe just having a laugh.
Just a little marketing from beyond, perhaps? Then there's Sour Castle in Kansas City, Kansas.
Built between 1869 and 1871, beautiful Italian architecture. 5 generations of the Sauer family lived and died there, including one suicide. Lots of history.
And lots of dark legends, right? A woman hanged herself in the tower, buried treasure and bodies, a secret tunnel.
Yeah, some stories even claim a deranged husband murdered his family there and buried them in the backyard before killing himself. The sheer volume of tragic and dark tales associated with one property is remarkable.
Neighbors reportedly see floating lights in the tower and on the grounds, hear voices when no one is living there. An apparition of a woman in black paces the widow's walk, and on Halloween, a man and woman are seen dancing in the tower.
Sounds like a place where the past is constantly replaying itself. Very atmospheric.
How about the Ellis Railroad Museum in Russell?
Located in Memorial Hall, has over 1,200 dolls upstairs, which is inherently creepy.
Totally.
But it's also said to be haunted by Earl Perkins, who tragically drowned in a jail cell in the basement during a flood in 1957. Reports include strange noises from the basement and ghostly figures passing by windows.
Old Abilene Town. Sounds like a Wild West haunting.
Pretty much. Founded 1857, childhood home of Dwight Eisenhower. Now restored, it's called a haven for paranormal lovers with spirits of the Old West. They host official ghost tours.
And people claim evidence.
Yeah, photo-video evidence, disembodied voices, sudden cold spots, being touched by invisible hands, even apparitions of cowboys. It's as if the adventurous spirit of the frontier days just refuses to leave.
Then there's the Hutchinson Public Library, haunted by a librarian.
By Ida Day, yeah. A former, stereotypical, strict librarian. Seen as a shadowy figure, heard as phantom footsteps, felt as cold spots, mainly in the basement. One librarian encountered a stern old lady who just dissolved into darkness.
Is she malicious?
Apparently, Ida's ghost is stern but harmless, sometimes seen organizing or browsing books, still on the job.
Okay, the Beaumont Hotel. Built 1879, stagecoach stop, later for air travelers, even a brothel at one point.
Lots of layers there. Local legend says a married employee fell in love with a customer named Zeke. The enraged husband murdered Zeke.
And Z stuck around?
Seems so. Zeke's translucent cowboy figure is seen at the top of the stairs. He is described as a prankster, moving chairs to block doors, setting clock alarms between 2 and 3 a.m. The jingling of spurs is also frequently heard.
Prankster ghost cowboy. Gotta love it. Theorosis Bridge in Valley Center.
Famous ghost story with 2 versions. 1. Native Americans attacked a wagon train, took baby Therosa, mother spirit still searches. 2. A woman threw her illegitimate baby from the bridge. Baby drowned. Both tragic.
And the reported phenomena.
Crying baby sounds, woman sobbing, strange lights, cold spots, car stalling unexpectedly on the bridge. Classic auditory residual haunting signs, maybe.
Red Rock Elementary School in Ulysses sounds unsettling, too.
Yeah, ghost of a young girl appears in hallways, wanders near the cafeteria. Balls bounce and swings move on the playground without wind or kids. Photos show strange light circles and figures, more than just residual, maybe.
Jayhawk Tower Alley in Topeka.
Haunted by a shadowy man and a young lady in a party dress who jumped from a 7th-story window. The man's been caught in photos, apparently. One guest heard a specter banging on the elevator and screaming. Terrifying.
Yikes. And finally, the old Lawrence Community Theater building.
Formerly a church, became a performing arts center in '85, suffered a massive fire in 2003. It's believed spirits of actors might still be present.
What do people report?
Feelings of being watched, flickering lights, props moving on their own. You know, the theory is performers, with their strong emotions and desire to connect, might be particularly inclined to linger.
Makes a certain kind of sense. So, wow. As you can tell, Kansas, despite its often serene and, well, flat image, holds a surprising wealth of deeply historical and genuinely unsettling haunted locations.
It really does. These aren't just spooky tales pulled out of thin air. They are stories woven into the very fabric of the state's past, many of which you can still explore and experience firsthand today. It's a remarkable way to engage with history that often goes unacknowledged.
It really makes you wonder about the persistence of these legends, doesn't it? Why do some stories endure for generations, passed down through whispers and recorded in those guest books?
What does it say about human nature's relationship with the unknown, maybe, and our deep desire to connect with the past, even the tragic parts?
Yeah, and this raises an important question. What exactly are people experiencing at these sites? Is it merely folklore and the power of suggestion playing tricks on the mind?
Or are they truly tapping into some form of energetic imprint of past events, perhaps an echo of intense emotions or traumatic moments lingering in the environment?
And if you do visit, does our collective belief in these stories perhaps contribute to their ongoing existence? Like, are we keeping the history alive not just through supporting local businesses that embrace these tales, but through our shared collective engagement with the supernatural?
That's a fascinating thought. What might your own senses pick up if you were truly receptive to these lingering presences?
Mm-hmm.
Could you become part of the ongoing story just by being there and being open to it? It makes you think.